Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars. Several of you may know I am a retired nursing home administrator and I just turned 60. I'm early retired and I'm starting my third year of retirement. So I have a lot of back issues and I thought the other day, this is the time to be preparing my house to age in place. And this may be something that no one really wants to think about, but I think even in our 40s and our 50s and especially our 60s, we need to be thinking about that. And I have had to think about that because I've had some falls. I've had 4 falls this past year, and it's important to keep ourselves in good shape so that we can age in place. And I always say one good fall can change everything. So if you are in retirement or just starting retirement or thinking about retirement, it's great to think about some of these things before you get to the point that you might actually need some of them already in place and maybe you can't do them. So I'm just going to touch on them today. Maybe they'll give you something to think about, something to work towards. And I'm hoping that they help someone out there today because these are some of the things that I'm working on this year. So I have a couple of friends. One of them just got a single story modular home moved in, and they are leaving their two-story house because of the floor plan and the upstairs. I have a two-story house, and I have thought about this. I've thought, I'm going to age in place, which means I'm going to get myself ready that if I need to live on the bottom floor, I can. I'm going to try to get the things that I need onto the bottom floor to make them more accessible so that I don't have to do those 10 stairs when it's difficult for me to do that. I mean, I'm telling you, there's been days it's been so bad, I've had to crawl up the stairs. That's happened to me lots of times. And I thought about this and I thought, this year I'm going to start moving a few of the things I have upstairs for Christmas decorations. I'm going to start moving them downstairs where they're more accessible so that I don't have to haul them up, haul them down, haul them back up. And it's going to make things easier next year if those things are accessible. And that's some of the things that I've been thinking about. Most of the stuff we have upstairs right now is mainly stuff from my younger kids who don't have a permanent place like a home that they've purchased yet on their own, and they haven't had time to go through their things yet. The other 4 have already gone through their things, and those things are pretty much gone. Every now and then I run across a few things and I'm still able to get them to take them, and they want to take them, so that's a good thing. But most of the stuff upstairs, other than our bedroom and our clothes and some office supplies, most everything up there is not stuff that we are accessing or needing on a regular basis. I have like games, so when the grandkids come, they can go upstairs and pick out games that they want to play. But I don't have a lot of things up there that I need to access other than our bedroom items and our closet items. So if I did need to move downstairs, those would be the only items that I would need to move to then transition to living on the bottom floor. I have another set of friends who are moving, and they're around our age, maybe a little bit older. The people that I told you about getting the single modular home, they're about 68. And the friends that are moving, they're actually moving into a house that is not smaller. They're moving into one that has a little bit less stairs than what they have right now, but they're moving into one because when they have family over at the holidays, it's very crowded. Now, it's super crowded here when people are here for the holidays, and I've explained that to you all before. I raised 6 kids in this house. Now they have spouses, now they have children, so it's super crowded when even 3 or more of them get here with their families. But I don't want to move or build on just for a holiday season. I think part of what makes holidays so special when you have a big family is that the fact that you are kind of all squished together, you're all in the same room, you're all playing games, you're all sometimes sleeping in the same rooms because we are all packed in here and it's kind of fun. The grandkids love it. So I don't see the purpose of like adding on or getting a bigger house just for the holidays. So that's not something that I would consider. Let me know if either one of these things would be something that you would consider. The next thing is to declutter what you can. Open up your pathways, open up your spaces so you have open spaces so you don't trip on things. That makes things a lot easier. Plus, it makes a lot less stuff for you to manage. Like right now, we have just redone our living room. It doesn't have any clutter in it. I walk in there and I think, wow, I remember the days that I needed to be picking up stuff in here, clearing off the dining room table. Maybe I had end tables that had stuff on them. We don't have any end tables. I don't have any places that things can be piled other than the dining room table. And we don't put anything on there except the center pieces and the napkins and stuff like that. So walking in there and knowing everything is done, nothing needs managed, nothing needs taken care of, but maybe vacuuming here and there and washing some throws here and there, that is really a peaceful thing. And it's really nice to have all of that in order. So getting things in order where our furniture is opened up and our pathways are opened up, that just helps prevent us, hopefully, from tripping over something and having a fall. Also, I feel like it's important to practice the strength in our legs. Practice getting up from chairs, practice getting up off of the floor in case you do fall. I had a fall December 26th, and my kids were here. My grown kids were here, and I was outside, and my oldest daughter was like, "Boys, boys, mom is down," and they're all jumping up and running over there, my son-in-law, my sons, and I was like, I can get back up. I can get back up, guys. Unless I've broken something, I can get back up. I don't need help. And that felt really good to tell them that, but she was worried I couldn't get back up. And that is a dangerous position to be in. I've had friends who have fallen in their yards and laid there for hours until someone found them. So it's important to be able to get back up and practice getting back up and getting on the floor and getting back up. And I know some of these things, again, may not be things you want to talk about, may not be things that you've thought about, but I think they're important to think about them. Also, I don't have any food storage upstairs. I watch some creators on YouTube that have food storage upstairs, and I think, "Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine, like, carrying items up there and then bringing them back down. That would not work for me. I can't carry even light items upstairs." So I do not want to store anything up there, like I was saying in the beginning, that is important, that I would need to be hauling back and forth. And if you're storing food up there, you would have to be hauling it up to store it, hauling it down when you needed it. So it's important to think about that when we are thinking about what we are going to store on another floor if we are going to age in place. Also, if we've decided to move or we've decided to stay where we're at, it's important to look at our retirement budget. And does the housing that we've chosen fit our retirement budget? My house is mortgage free. I don't owe anything on it except property taxes. I live in a state where my property taxes are low, and I can afford to age in place and live here even once my Social Security kicks in. And a lot of people may be getting ready to retire and realize they're in too much house or they're living in an area that they can't afford once they switch to Social Security or getting some of the income in from their 401ks or their investments to be able to keep the home that they were using when they were working full time because it's just too expensive. So reviewing whether or not you can afford to stay to age in place in the home that you've chosen is a very crucial piece to deciding where you're going to age in place. Also, looking at home modifications that might need done. Right now, the only thing that we would possibly need done would be like widening of doors. I have an old farmhouse. The doors are not very wide. It would be difficult to get in there with a regular size walker. And I've thought about walkers, and if I get one, I would get one that would be more of a triangle. It would be a smaller one where I could go into the bathroom, maybe park it, and then get in and out as I needed to. But our bathroom's very small. It would not hold a regular size walker. It would not hold a wheelchair. I don't have any grab bars. Even my outside door coming in, it would not fit a wheelchair to come through the door. But we did put in a walk-in shower a few years back. We also put in an elevated toilet. Both of those have come in handy with some injuries that I've had over the last several years. So thinking about any home modifications that you might need is a very important thing to think about, to work that into your budget, because you might not be able to afford all of those things once you retire. Having med setup containers, I think, is very important. It's not only important for someone to come in if they needed to help take care of us for a short period of time, but I just find it's very handy because I can take mine with me really easily if I'm going somewhere and I don't have to pre-set things up. Now, I don't have mine set up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have mine set up by medication. I have like one medication in one slot, another in another slot, and that's because I know what I'm taking. But maybe having a med list with what you're taking and how often you're taking, and having that accessible just in case family or friends would need that, even for a short hospital stay. That is really, really helpful. I've had an experience where my dad had to go into the nursing home. I gave them a list of his medications, and I was setting his pills up, and I knew what he was on, and his doctor had given him some sample medications that didn't work out. We never filled a prescription, and I told them, he's on these medications. Don't change them without talking to me. And she went and said, oh no, he's on these, and he wasn't. And they totally messed up his medications. So having a list of what you are on and how often you take it and the dosage, and maybe where you even get your medications filled or insurance information, that is all really important to have on hand in case of an emergency. I feel like it's important to keep your mind sharp and to keep learning and being active. And YouTube helps me with that. I'm constantly learning from you guys. I'm constantly researching things so that I can do videos for you all. And I feel like it really helps keep my mind sharp. But it's important for us to keep busy, whether it's crossword puzzles or reading the newspaper or doing different things. It's important to keep our minds active and always be learning. And I think that is so helpful as we age. It's also really important to stay connected with your friends and family during this time. I have a couple of friends that will check on me from time to time. I check on them from time to time. They know that I'm married, so they don't check on me as often, but they are both single. So it's important to have someone that will check on you from time to time just to make sure that everything's going okay. Or if you're sick, maybe they can bring you something. And I've had a friend who fell and broke her leg, trimming some trees. And I was like, do you need me to bring you anything? What do you need? So it's important for us to stay connected with people who might not have somebody that's checking on them regularly. So those are the top tips that I have for aging in place. Let me know if you have some others that you would like to share, or if you've had some experiences that has made you realize that there were some things that you needed to put in place that you hadn't put in place. I think this is an important topic for those of us in our 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s. Let me know what you think. Thanks for being here today, and I hope you will give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next video.